Hello, hello, welcome back. I'm Avalon, and this is Voice Notes from the Chrysalis, my 21 episode podcast where I share all the golden nuggets that I've discovered over being deeply transformed over the past 5 years in celebration of the launch of my digital course, Discover Yourself. Welcome back. Today, we're talking about how desires are divine. So, caveat here, if I say God, it also means the divine, also means the universe, also means source, also means higher power. Whatever you want to call it, that's what I'm saying. And at least for me, that is true, that there is a higher power. So, for that context, there's this idea that our talents and natural abilities are God-given, that we have gifts, spiritual gifts, normal gifts and talents, and they are given to us from higher power, God, the divine, and that we were meant to use them. Well, I also believe that that extends to our desires, our core desires, really any desire actually, but I feel like there is, oh, I want tacos, and oh, I want a house, to, oh, I want to feel fed and safe and satisfied. Oh, I want to have a home that makes me feel secure. That's what I mean, like as desires and then like core desires of what we truly want. Um, just to clarify that. But I really believe that our desires are a roadmap to guide us forward. So, yes, we need to take radical responsibility for ourselves and our own experience. And yes, we get to decide who we are. But in my opinion and my experience being deeply transformed, like I cannot argue that there is absolutely a higher power. I'm sorry. If you don't believe that, that's totally fine. You don't gotta listen to this. You don't gotta agree. But I can't deny that for myself. It's just like, yeah, I can't even talk about this stuff without acknowledging the existence from my experience of a higher power. But we are not just experiencing life ourselves. I believe we are experiencing life and this dance with the divine, with God, with the universe, with source. And there we're gonna get to another episode where I talk more about the differentiation between us and the divine. And I can't wait to get there because it makes sense to me. We'll see if it rings true for you too. But I'm just sharing what the golden nuggets of from being deeply transformed over the past 5 years. That's all I'm here to do. Okay? So, but as a part of that dance with the divine, our roadmap, our compass is our desires, are the things that feel right, that we feel drawn to, magnetized to. And oftentimes that's through wanting, that's through desire, that's through something I want to experience. Um, and moving towards it. That I believe is the universe being like, hey, you're meant to go in this direction because we're making it easy. We're giving you in this intrinsic motivation through desire to get there. It just makes sense to me. And I do believe that there are layers to this. I do believe that, while we're having this beautiful dance with the universe, we're imperfect and we're humans and we have egos and we want things not necessarily for pure reasons. So that becomes the fun, introspective part of figuring out what is that core desire that I desire to feel safe and secure in a home. And maybe that means, yes, purchasing this house that I want, but maybe feeling safe and secure and at home means renting this apartment that plops into my lap that I would have never seen if a friend didn't mention it to me. Like there has to be discernment to get to that specific thing. And sometimes what we want isn't actually good for us, you know? So I don't mean to share nuggets of wisdom and then be like, "Ooh, but you have to use your discernment. You're like follow your desires, but be careful." Like that is the human experience. And the best way that I have found to, oh, yeah, this is layered. I've recently had an experience that was very, very powerful where I had been just not letting myself want what I want. And like to some extent, even if the thing that we want isn't good for us, sometimes just accepting that we want it is what we need in order, in my case, just accepting that that desire was there, that wanting was there. And once I accepted it, it actually ended up dissolving and showing me the way towards that core desire, like in this case of like love and partnership, and letting go of something specific happening and being open to that core desire being fulfilled, not the juicy piece of candy that I thought I wanted, so to speak. So I do find, so I have found that one of the ways that you can low-key interrogate yourself, investigate. Investigate's a nicer word than interrogate. But call up that desire of what you want. You want this really nice winter coat. And ask yourself why. Why do you want this really nice winter coat? Maybe it's because you want to feel bougie. Maybe it's because you want to feel stylish. Maybe it's because you want to feel powerful. Maybe it's because you want to feel warm and you don't want to have to wear a big puffy, like puffer coat that makes your hair all staticky and everything. Like you want it to be a nice wool coat for practical reasons also. Like whatever it is, ask yourself why once and then ask yourself why again. Maybe you want to feel bougie in this nice winter coat. So, why do you want to feel bougie? Well, I feel like that will make me feel powerful. I feel like that will make me feel important. I feel like that will, give me some kind of like recognition, some kind of status, some kind of social currency, whatever it is. I'm making stuff up right now. Why do you want that social currency? Because I don't feel comfortable and secure in my own skin. And it's not to say that we can't want the coat. Like, honestly, the times when I understand that core desire of, like, oh, I just want to feel like that girl. Because if I'm that girl, then I got my shit together. I am powerful. No one can touch me. I am secure in myself. Like, and if I can find that experience in having a certain winter coat, that's doable, But like you have to know what that core desire is in order to fulfill it. You can, if you are being driven by these desires and don't acknowledge what is underneath them, then I mean, it very much could look like accumulating stuff for the sake of stuff, and really you're like chasing a feeling. Um, and this isn't just like about like wanting clothes. It could be about wanting to like live in a certain place and like assuming that you'll feel safe in a certain neighborhood and not in another. But maybe you are meant to live in this other neighborhood that you're like, oh, that's a rough neighborhood. But really, your best friend is about to be your neighbor and you are meant to live in this house. Like, whatever it is, like, you have to acknowledge the core desire so that you can fulfill it. And it can be possibly fulfilled through that winter coat. Like, like honestly, like if anything, discovering that core desire will help you figure out exactly which winter coat is for you. Because, like, maybe it is about how much money you spend on that coat, and that will make it feel valuable to you. But if you want to just feel bougie and recognized by other people, that doesn't have to. I mean, maybe it has to do with the amount of money you spend on it, but maybe it doesn't. Maybe you thrift a really nice, like, vintage wool coat that is like $30 instead of $3,000. You know? Like it can help you and but you will have the same feeling from the right winter coat instead of one that you didn't like wasn't actually aligned with that core desire. I'm hoping that this makes sense. It might be a little nuanced. I'm truly just sharing my experience that has helped me live my life authentically for me. And some of the tools that have helped me get there are these exercises that are in my digital course, Discover Yourself, that these are exercises that I experienced through over the course of 5 years, and I paid 2000, not 2000, $20,000 across multiple programs to experience these three exercises. And over the years, I have wanted to make them my own and do them better, in my opinion, especially the values exercise. I have lots of thoughts about that one. Um, and if I had had those exercises in advance, I would know what, especially when it comes to desire, I would know what I value because really, like what we value, that's the core desire. And I have found through creating these exercises and actually like beta testing myself and having other friends who have beta tested as well, but for my own experience, I've realized that like my core value, like I have a North Star, which is I will live a life that I will never regret. But a one word core value I have is freedom. And if I had known that, especially 3 years ago, I would have avoided so much burnout in trying to create freedom at an employer that never wanted me to experience freedom and build a life that actually is centered around that value. So, if you're curious about this course, you can check it out in the show notes. And it does release for the early birds at a discount on December 21st, the winter solstice, and to the public on December 28th. And I really think that it, especially the values exercise, there's a values exercise, a strengths and weakness exercise, and a life assessment exercise called the Wheel of Life. And the values exercise really is linked to these core desires because what you value is what you desire the most, in my opinion, in my experience. So, oh, thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited to continue this conversation, and I'll see you next time.